God damn.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You are listening to The Bad Boy Radio Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. This is that real shit, not that fake shit. The only radio show that's not afraid to tell you the truth about the game. This is The Bad Boy Radio Show. Remember, the truth is inside you.
Yeah. What's poppin'?
1, 2, 3.
What's poppin'?
Yeah.
What's going on? It's the Bad Boy Show. Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham in the place. Today we're going to be talking about how entitlement messes up the game. You feel me? How motherfuckers is entitled and it's messing up the goddamn game, man. You know, it's terrible. So we're going to be getting into that shit. But before we get into that stuff, man, we gotta take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into some news, and then we're going to make it happen. You feel me? So you're listening to The Bad Boy Show. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. Yeah, we're back, people. We are back.
Yep.
We are back on the Bad Boy Show. So, man, like, there's been stuff happening in the news. A lot of it, you know, it was not that interesting. So we only got a couple of news stories for you today. So deal with it. You feel me? But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's interesting stuff. So first I want to talk about, your dude, and Miles, you probably know more about this because I didn't even research this. I just caught this on the fly about Johnny Depp and his wife Amber Heard, supposedly got a divorce and now he owes her like $1 billion in alimony or some shit. Is that correct? What's going on with that shit?
Yeah, that's pretty much the story. It's the story. They've been married for 15 months.
Oh wow, okay. I thought he was about to say 15 years. I'm like, shit. When the fuck did that?
No, 15 fucking. Okay, now first of all, I gotta say that I am angry at Johnny motherfucking Depp.
What?
You understand? Because the last thing I heard about this guy was that he's pretty much like a bachelor type nigga. Like he just be fucking hoes and keeping it moving, right?
Right.
So I thought that's it. I thought that's Johnny Depp. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of find out he actually married this chick, Amber Heard, 15 months ago.
Right.
Now she's filing for divorce. Like
wow.
2 days after he just released the Alice in Wonderland movie.
Wow. See,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
you know, it's crazy because like, I mean, this dude, I think Johnny Depp is like 50 something and she's like, I think maybe in her early 30s or 20s. I don't know what the fuck it is, but you know, like if you're Johnny Depp, man, like what are you doing getting married knowing that if this shit goes down, because I heard it, he owed her $400 million. So I don't know if that's the case. Here it is. So they didn't do a prenup. They did not do a prenup. Right.
Okay? Another dumb move by this nigga. Like oh man, if I ever meet this nigga. Anyway, so he is worth about $400 million. That's what it is.
That's what he's worth. Okay, right.
So she stands to get anywhere in and around half of the $400 million.
Wow.
And they only been married for 15 motherfucking months. Can you believe that shit?
Damn. That's crazy. That shit is wild.
He only been married for 15 months.
That's just like a year and some change. And so
exactly. Johnny Depp been acting since 21 Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp been putting away checks from Pirates of the fucking Caribbean, son.
Mm-hmm. And no, but the funny part is this, like, she's a celebrity too. She's been in movies, so she has millions of dollars. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, You know, because usually the excuse is that, okay, if you get married and then you get divorced, you're supposedly supposed to give your wife some money because, you know, y'all were together and she had a certain lifestyle. So now you got to sort of like help her out because, you know, now her lifestyle is going to be different without you and yada, yada, yada and all that other dumb shit. Right. But this chick has millions of fucking dollars already. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't understand that shit. You understand? It's like when they do child support with rich niggas, when it's like, they be like, oh, you know, he's paying $25,000 in child support. It's like, that shit is crazy. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, it becomes more about like the bullshit than the actual like point of it. You understand? Because like, let's say back in the day where women weren't technically working or something, you know what I mean? And it was like more dudes working. So you divorced your wife, you got divorced. So they was like, all right, you got to give her some paper because, you know, she ain't really had no job and, you know, she got the kids and whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm like, do they even have any kids? They ain't got no kids, nothing. Like, I
don't think they have any kids.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you know what's interesting?
Johnny Depp is crazy. Johnny Depp is fucking crazy.
Right.
Period.
You know what's interesting? I got a funny story about Amber Heard because I don't know if this shit was real, so don't like, you know, I still think it was bullshit, but allegedly, the real Amber Heard hit me up on Facebook. Allegedly. I'm just saying. So this is maybe like 2 years ago or something. Cause this is what happened. So I'm on Facebook, right? So then someone, allegedly who was Amber Heard, but she was like, oh, this is my private account. And it said the name on the private account said Pistol Heard, right? So I click on the account. I'm like, this is some catfish shit, whatever. This ain't no real shit. You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, I'm looking on her timeline and it's actually like videos of her like doing shit, like, you know, like shit that you probably couldn't find nowhere unless it's her. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is. So I said, so she texts me on Facebook talking about, yo, I saw your movie. I thought it was really really interesting. It was really funny. So right. I text back and I'm like, okay, cool, you know, like thanks or whatever. But I'm just like playing along. But I'm like, this is some catfish shit, whatever. Somebody pretending to be this chick, right? So then something happened where one of my Facebook friends told me that he knows her or he grew up with her, he knew her personally, and then he showed the movie to her, like he sent her the link and he told me that was really her. You feel what I'm saying? So right. So I'm like, okay, cool or whatever. So next she's texting me, she was on Facebook on the Instant Messenger, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna be in New York this day, do you want my number? She gave me the number and all this other shit. So this whole time I'm just thinking this is some bullshit, right? Next thing you know, I wake up in the morning, I get those little free AM papers, and then she's in the paper in New York doing some other shit. So I'm like, either this is a really good catfish motherfucker or that's really her. You feel what I'm saying? So, wow. So now I'm thinking, you know, like she gave me the number, but the thing was, I didn't even text her. And then she's like, by the time I was thinking about doing it, she was already like on her way out of New York and shit. So I was like, damn, I could have, if that was really her, I could have probably smashed Amber Heard. It would have been great. It would have been great. You know, but I still think it was some catfish shit. But it was like the shit was so like, you know, because I'm looking on the page and it's like videos of her just talking in her room in her trailer, and I'm like, who the fuck got this unless it's her? So I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? And then the dude that I knew confirmed it was her. So I don't know. So, you know, if things could have changed, maybe I could have smashed Amber Heard and then Johnny Depp could have just divorced her and took half her shit. You feel me? That would have been funny, right? That would have been cool. So, you know, that's my, Amber Heard maybe / catfish story. So who knows? Who the fuck knows? You feel me?
That's your alleged Amber Heard story.
Exactly. So, you know, that would have been cool if I smashed. You know how many books we would have sold after that shit?
Yo, we could have sold the rights to the movie and let Johnny Depp.
Hell yeah. Oh man. Crazy. Okay, so in other news, man, so in rap news, your boy, there's this rapper named Troy Ave. So he allegedly, it's always allegedly because who the fuck knows what's real nowadays. even though there's videotape surveillance. But anyway, allegedly he was doing a show with T.I. at Irving Plaza in New York, and something happened where people started shooting up the place. So then Troy Ave's bodyguard or friend or somebody got shot and died, and so Troy Ave was in the fucking spot shooting, letting off the gun or whatever, and shooting at somebody, and they caught him on tape. So and he supposedly shot himself in the leg by mistake, or somebody shot him in the leg. So now this guy is probably going to get charged with attempted murder. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason why this story is so fucking whack, there's so many angles why this shit is whack. Is whack, one, because this guy, Troy Ave, he's from Brooklyn. I've heard about this dude for a long time when he was, grinding in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? Putting his mixtape out, trying to make it. So he finally got to this level where people know him. He's getting shit popping. And now, because of some fucking stupid shit, you understand what I'm saying? He could probably end up in jail. You feel what I'm saying? For who knows how long. You feel what I mean? Wow. So it's like, imagine you strive all your life to get your dreams and goals met, and then within a couple of minutes it can all go to shit. You feel what I'm saying? Shit is terrible. And then on top of that, your man T.I., right? Supposedly he's been getting he's been trying to do other shows, and now a lot of people have been pulling back on hiring him. So the other day he lost $55,000 for some show he was supposed to do the other day because they reneged. They actually paid him the money already, but they told him they want it back because they don't want him anywhere near the school. You understand? Because I think he's supposed to perform at some college or some high school, some joint, and they paid him $55,000, and so they're saying they want their money back because they're not with the shits. They're not about that life. You feel what I'm saying? So it's crazy. You feel what I mean? So listen. This is why you guys got to be careful about who you associate with. You feel what I'm saying? Or that's the situations you put yourself in. Because T.I. right now seems like he's trying to go in a straight and narrow. He's trying to get his Bill Cosby on. You feel what I'm saying?
T.I. is starring in the new Roots, the revamped version of the Roots they're coming out with.
Right.
So he's really trying to like up his game and change the trajectory of his career, because he probably realized that rap ain't shit no more.
Pretty much. Because look at what's happening. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
You go to do a show, you're trying to actually, just go there, make some money, and do what you got to do. And then, this crazy shit happened. You feel what I mean? And then even this dude, Troy Ave, is like, damn, now your whole fucking, thing is about to be a rap. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, your whole...
He's going to get 98 years like that Bobby Murder friend guy.
Right. Exactly. That shit could go down.
They got video of this nigga. I don't know if they have video, allegedly. I don't know if they had video of Bobby Schmurder's guy.
Right. Exactly.
But guy friend, but pause. But they got video of Troy Ave, so he's done.
Right. That might be a rap, and it's just like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your whole shit. And this also applies to if you are fucking with women. You feel what I'm saying? Because imagine when you fucking with these girls out here and you surrounding yourself by chicks that's on some ratchet shit, chicks that, that's just on some bullshit, that could fuck your whole situation up. You feel what I'm saying?
Right,
you got to be careful about the people you leave around you. You feel what I'm saying? So, you got to make sure that shit is a wrap. So before we go into break, right, I want to get a subscriber's email real quick. Let me get one of these real quick. So guys, if you want me to answer your questions, make sure you click that link below on the video, and also just go to askmrlucario@gmail.com and we will make that happen. All right. So this question, it says, should I ask my chick about her body count and why she cheated on her last guy instead of leaving? I saw some of her old tweets from last year after she added me on Twitter. Okay. So you want to know, should you ask your girl now why she cheated on her ex-man? My question to you is why? Why the fuck do you care? You feel what I'm saying? Why do you want to know? Why is that an issue? Right? But the thing is, the reason why I think you want to know is because, like, you are scared of, like, her doing it to you. you think that, you know, she's gonna be on some other shit. But the thing is, when you get with chicks, right, all they need to know is that when they with you, they need to know how to act and, you know, and be when they're with you. That's just pretty much it. So, you know, if she's gonna do some other fuck shit or some foul shit or whatever, you understand? You just gotta let her know that if she does that and you're not with that stuff, then you're gonna have to kick her to the curb. Like, that's all you really need to implement in your situation. You know, you understand what I'm saying? All this asking her and wondering and, you know, is going to make you look insecure. It's going to make you look like, you know, you're scared to lose her and all this other shit. And that's the type of shit that makes you lose chicks, is when you are scared to lose them and you start getting on some, you know, insecure. I gotta make sure this isn't happening and that isn't happening. I'm checking up on you every 5 seconds. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to do that. So I would say don't even worry about that shit. Like, don't even ask her. Don't get into that conversation. Like, if you want to get in that conversation, it has to be something that's more like lighthearted. Like, y'all just shooting the shit, talking about it, not like you're actually worried. Like, I don't want you to be on some shit like, yo, we need to talk. I need you to sit down. So, you know, I was checking out your tweets and I'm kind of concerned because you cheated on your man and, you know, I'm feeling a sort of way. Like, no, none of that shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Why were you checking out her tweets?
That's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. Like, dudes got to understand, like, they gotta fucking understand, as a man, your whole MO should be having better things to do with your time and your energy. You feel what I'm saying? Basically, when you out there dealing with these chicks, right? You got to make sure that, you know, you're really just focusing on making the relationship the way you want it to be, but it shouldn't be a thing where, you know, you're worried about all this stuff and you're really being insecure about it. So when I say making the relationship the way you want it to be, is that when you're first dealing with the chick and you're first, like, you know, with her or whatever your relationship is with her at that moment, right? You need to let her know, like, what the deal is, right? Usually you don't necessarily even need to say anything, because usually it's assumed that, okay, if we're together, if you're my girl and all this other stuff, then, and we're in a monogamous situation, then you know what it is. Like, you ain't supposed to be cheating. You ain't supposed to be on some other bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is that, you know, when you're, you know, in this situation with her, you don't want to take it to that level to where you are scared to talk to her, where you're, you know, or you're scared to, like, basically, be around her and you're fearful of the things she might do. That's what I'm trying to say. You feel what I'm saying? Because the thing is that if you get into that zone, if you get into that mind state, then the thing that's going to happen is that you are basically going to scare her off. That insecurity and that fearfulness is going to scare her off. You understand? That's going to make her leave, or that's going to make her cheat on you or do some other dumb shit because your insecurity is seeping through. So I would say, dude, don't worry about that shit. Basically just keep doing what you're doing. And if you were doing what you were doing in the first place, just, you know, being you and doing what you got to do, you know, she should understand the type of guy she has and the value that you have. You understand? And then if she fucks up and does some dumb shit, then you just got to be like, all right, this ain't the chick that I'm really trying to be with. And you got to, you know, keep it moving. You understand? It's really that simple. Other than that, you know, you're just like stressing yourself over nothing and you're wasting your time. You feel me? So listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the topic, which is how entitlement fucks up the game. You feel me? So listen, you are listening to The Bad Boy Show. We'll be back in a second. Do you want to learn the easiest way to have more sex with more women? Then get the critically acclaimed book, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. In this book, you'll learn everything you need to know about attracting and sleeping with beautiful women. That's How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. Get your copy today at MrLocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. MrLocario.com. Are you an actor who needs headshots? Do you have an event or a wedding coming up and you need a photographer? If you do, make sure you go to PavionPhoto.com. Pavion is a professional photographer who will supply you with high-quality video and photography services for any event. Contact him at pavionphoto.com. That's Pavion photo.com. Pavionphoto.com. Yeah. We are back on the Bad Boy Show. So today we're going to be talking about why entitlement fucks up the game. You feel what I'm saying? And so what we mean by entitlement, we're talking about people who feel they deserve shit just because they exist. People who feel like, you know, the world revolves around them, so everything needs to be done their way. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, guys, they complain about women being entitled and expecting all this other shit and all this other craziness. But also, too, you know, a lot of dudes feel entitled to certain shit, you know, when they do certain things. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is, you know, I'm going to be talking about a couple of things when we talk about entitlement and how entitlement really messes up the game, right? Now, the thing is, everybody to a certain extent feels entitled in a certain way, meaning everybody feels like they're owed or deserve something based off of the way they are or the way that they come at the game or the way they do things. So for example, right, you'll have a lot of women who feel entitled to a certain type of guy just because he is, you know, just because they're like, I want him and that's that, right? So the thing is that she's doing nothing to get him. She's not really making anything happen. She's not really bringing anything to the table, but she thinks just because she's her, that she's entitled to that guy. You feel what I'm saying? So like a lot of times, you know, you go on online dating sites and you'll see a woman who she would, you know, she would say shit like, you know, I want a guy who's 6'5". He has to make $100,000 a year. He has to, you know, do this and do that. He has to look this way and look that way. And then you're like, okay, well, on the surface, okay, cool. Well, she wants that. What's the big deal? But the thing is that this chick, right? What happens with her is that she's not really bringing anything to the table. She might be a chick who's sort of out of shape, a chick who has a bad attitude. You understand? A chick who's on some bullshit, right? And so she feels like she still is entitled to that. You understand? But the thing is that why does she feel like she's entitled to that? You see, and that's the problem. That's the problem. And what happens is in relationships, you know, the relationships don't really turn out how they need to turn out because a lot of these ladies end up feeling like they're entitled in those situations. Right. And then what happens is that when you meet a woman, right, and let's say you're a cool dude, you're a nice guy or whatever, you're just a chill dude or whatever, and then you come up to her, right? What's going to happen is that she's going to feel like she's entitled to a certain type of treatment from you. You understand? Because she's been used to feeling like, oh, well, she deserves this, this, and this, and that. Now, the thing is, people are going to confuse this with, you know, somebody saying, well, this is just a person, you know, figuring out what they want and trying to go after that, right? Now, that's a different thing. You understand? So now if you're trying to figure out what you want and you're trying to go after certain things, right? You can do that. But at the same time, one, you have to be realistic about it. And two, you can't be entitled. Do you understand? You can't have that entitlement issue about yourself when it comes to that. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is that if that lady wants a guy who's 6'5" in shape, doing all of this and doing all of that, what is she doing to attract that guy? You understand? What type of woman is she that will make him want her? You feel what I mean? So this is, and then the thing is that, you know, she'll be wondering why she can't get him or, you know, why she's getting these average to below average dudes. And it's because she realistically doesn't see, you know, where she's at. And also her entitlement issue, right? It's like she's delusional. She's like, okay, well, you know, I deserve this and I deserve that. But you ask yourself, why does she deserve that? She doesn't. You understand? She's not entitled to it. You understand? Like, it's not just going to be given to her. You understand? And if she wants something, then she has to go and get it, right? And this is why a lot of you guys run into trouble in the dating game, because what happens is that you guys end up meeting a whole bunch of women who are on some entitled bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. most of the women out here that you're meeting, you know, especially in American society, are entitled as fuck. Do you understand? So they feel like they deserve the best, even when they're not the best. You understand? That's how it goes. A lot of them, they're like, oh, I want this, like all these women are looking for the same man, but most of these women are not putting themselves, to the test or to the task of becoming that woman who that man would want. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the issue. But the thing is that they feel entitled because a lot of these women still get attention from a whole bunch of different guys. So that gasses them up to make them think that they're more desirable than they really are. You feel what I'm saying? And so that right there, that little issue makes, it fucks up the game. Like that entitlement fucks up the game because now this woman right here, she's going to be, dissing this guy, dissing that guy, playing games, doing all this other shit because she feels like she's entitled to this super awesome guy, even though she's not really putting in the work to get him. Right now, the thing is also is that a lot of guys are entitled. You understand? Or they feel entitlement in certain situations. So I hear a lot of dudes who are on that nice guy shit. They'll say, yo, that's fucked up. I should be getting these girls because I'm a really nice guy and I'm treating her good. And all these guys that are assholes are getting all the chicks. How come I'm not getting any pussy? You've heard that before, right? So since a guy feels that he is a nice guy, he feels like he should be getting pussy just off the strength that he's a nice guy. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? So it doesn't work that way. So for all you nice guys out there, you got to understand that just because you're a nice dude doesn't entitle you to a woman. Do you understand? You can get a woman if you step your game up. You can get a woman if you actually put in some work in the game. But being a nice guy doesn't make you get a girl, or a girl doesn't owe you shit just because you're being nice to her. Do you understand? Like in your mind, it makes sense. You're like, well, I'm treating her good. I'm doing the things she said that she likes. I'm doing all this stuff and she's putting me in the friend zone, right? So then what happens is that you feel like, well, I'm entitled to this girl because I've done all these things. I've done all this stuff for her, but that's not the way it works. See, when you're dealing with chicks, a chick has to want to fuck you. A chick has to want to be with you. You understand? But the thing is, you're not entitled to a chick based off of just, you doing A, B, and C. See, the thing is, and this is why a lot of guys get mad when they get flaked on, because you get flaked on and you think, damn, I done approached her. I got her number. I talked to her on the phone for like an hour and a half the other day. She said she was going to meet me on Friday and then she didn't meet me. You feel what I'm saying? And then so what happens is that you feel like you're entitled to the pussy because you did all that shit. You did all that work. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing is that thinking that way, right, is going to get you bitter. It's going to make you upset. It's going to basically, get you all upset about the game. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to the game, when it comes to you making things happen, you have to be on some shit where you're not really fazed by all of that. And you don't have this outcome dependence, or you don't have this thing where you feel like you're supposed to get her, you're supposed to have her just because of the things that you did. You understand? See, when you're learning the game and you're learning what to do to attract women, right? It's a general thing that you're learning so that you can apply to a mass amount of women, right? But the thing that you got to understand is that you're not necessarily entitled to the chick. You understand? So you'll do things that will make women attracted to you, and those women will choose you. Those women will choose to be with you because of the game that you have, right? But you spit in the game or doing whatever the hell you're doing doesn't entitle you to the chick. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a hard pill to swallow for most guys, because this is why the game is fucked up sometimes, because a lot of guys, they're on the internet, they're searching all these PUA things, and they're looking for the magic formula, the magic thing to do in order to get a girl guaranteed to be on their dick. You feel what I'm saying? And so when they do all these things and it doesn't happen, they get upset because they feel entitled. They feel like they're supposed to, make this happen. You feel what I'm saying? And so, and it was funny because the other day, right, I was talking about this, entitlement issue with a couple of friends of mine, right? And so what happened was they, this dude, he said to me, he asked me, he said, is it men's fault that women feel entitled, right? He was like, is it men's fault that women feel like, they should just get shit popping, guys should just do this for them and that for them, take them out, spend money on them, give them all this attention. Is it men's fault that women feel this way, right? And the thing is, a lot of it has to do with guys sort of, giving these chicks way too much attention when it comes to like the dating game. So what happens is that, like, let's say, for example, online dating, right? A lot of dudes, give a lot of chicks attention on online dating. And the thing is that the reason why they get so much attention is because it's easier for guys to, contact chicks and try to holler at them. So what happens is that these chicks, even if they're so fucking, whack and below average and shit, right? They're getting hundreds of emails, right? From dudes trying to, holler. You feel what I'm saying? So then that shit blows up their ego. They start to think they're the shit. And then what happens is that, since they think they're the shit, when you approach this girl, right, she thinks that she's so in demand that she doesn't have to even look at you or show you any respect. You feel what I'm saying? Or she feels like you're supposed to bow down and do everything for her just because. You feel what I'm saying? And so that it's sort of like, it's sort of men's fault in a certain way because of the way that men sort of simp and trick and do all this other stuff to get women in the idea of that happening. But at the same time, women still haven't caught on to how their entitlement issues doesn't really benefit them. You feel what I'm saying? Because even though a lot of guys pay women attention and try to holler and try to get sex and all this other stuff, a lot of the stuff that your average woman is trying to get, she doesn't get it because what happens is that the attention and all this other stuff and, that she's getting isn't really amounting to anything that she really wants. So a lot of times, in general, you have a lot of women out here who are looking for a boyfriend or a husband or somebody, to be with them and all this other stuff. Right. So the thing is that they feel like they're, like I was saying earlier, that they need the best and everything like that. So what happens is that they get a whole bunch of dudes who will come through and holler. But what happens is that most of those guys who are coming through to holler is just, smashing them and bouncing. Right. But again, they feel like they deserve more and they feel like they should get more because of what's actually happening, meaning all these different guys trying to holler at them, at the same time. So it's so what happens is that she's getting so many dudes hollering at her, right? Then she's dating some of these dudes or messing with some of these dudes. Most of these dudes just smash and bounce. But then the cycle continues because she feels like she's still entitled to the best because she has another 100 guys trying to holler at her. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that a chick like this, she'll act up, she'll diss you, she'll flake, she'll do all this other stuff. She'll be on some bullshit. And the reason why she will do this is because she can. Because even though she's not getting the fulfillment of actually having that boyfriend or husband, she can still coast on the attention she's getting, right? And that attention she's getting is giving her that entitlement issue. You feel what I'm saying? Because she's figuring that, well, I still get all this, stuff from dudes and dudes is still trying to holler at me, right? So then fuck it. Like, it doesn't matter. And I still can get this and I still can get that. And when you meet me, you're supposed to buy me a drink. And when I say this should happen. And, if I don't feel like calling you, I don't gotta call you. I don't need to do this and you need to do this for me. So all these things happen because of the way we set up, society and the way that things are going right now. So, especially with women, the way the society has, catered to women is the reason why these women are, with the entitlement issues. You feel what I'm saying? So that shit right there, it makes it hard for you guys out there. It makes it really bad for you guys to even mess with chicks. Cause the thing is, you'll have the most raggedy, terrible, ratchet chick, right? Who you might be at a club or something. you might, it might be 3 a.m. You're like, you know what? I'm going to lower my standards right now. I'm going to talk to this raggedy chick and just try to hit it, get some head or something. You know what I'm saying? And so now you approach this girl and then you try to holler at her, and then she's expecting you to buy her a drink. She's expecting you to treat her like a princess. She's expecting you to do this. She's expecting you to have the flyest car. She's expecting you to have a whole bunch of money, but she's just some, raggedy chick. And this is what she's expecting. She has that entitlement issue. It's going down with her. Right? Now, again, it's not a big deal for her to want that. But again, what the fuck is she bringing to the table? You feel what I'm saying? And that's the issue. That's the problem. Because women just want it because they want it. Like the other day, I did a video the other day and I titled it, Being a Woman Isn't Enough. And basically what I was saying to women is that, a lot of women, they think that, they like, especially when they get older, they're always upset because they're like, yo, I'm getting older and these guys, they keep playing games and none of these guys are mature enough to, want to settle down with a good woman and blah, 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 blah. Right. And so what happens is a lot of women, they feel entitled to have a husband. They think, well, they're pushing 40 and you should be her husband. You should step up to the plate, young man. You should basically wife her up. You understand? Because she's entitled to you. That's how they're looking at it. But the problem is that they're not looking at it in the way of what am I doing as a woman to actually attract this guy, to actually make him want to be with me, right? So, that's the thing that makes, the shit not really go the way it needs to go, right? Now, there's a difference between having a sense of entitlement and, being confident, right? Or and knowing what you want, right? And I said this earlier, but I want to elaborate on this. Right now, if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm not fucking with no ratchet chicks. I need a chick who looks like this. I need a chick who's doing that, right? Even a woman saying, hey, I want a dude like this. I want a dude like that. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Right? There's nothing wrong with you actually wanting those things and making those things happen, right? But what you got to understand is this, is that, when you're confident about what you want and you're going out there and you're saying the things that you want to happen and you want to manifest this and you want to make these things happen, a thing has to happen simultaneously. You have to become that dude in order to get that chick, right? So what I mean by this is, let's say you're like, yo, I want the baddest chicks. I want the chicks that's going to cooperate and all this other stuff, right? You can't just, feel entitled and say, well, you know what? I have a really good job and I'm a good guy. So these chicks should just mess with me, right? And so that's a form of like entitlement. You feeling like that and you saying that and you thinking that just because you got a good job, because you're making a lot of money, because you never been to jail, because you treat people good, that you're entitled to a hot, sexy chick who's going to cooperate with you, right? Now, having all those things are great, and it's good that you do have that stuff, right? And it's a bonus for any woman who is dealing with you. It's a good thing. But the thing is that you can't be entitled to that, or you can't say that you're entitled to that, because the thing is, if you want an actual hot chick and a chick that's going to cooperate, you still need to put in work, in order to, make women attracted to you. You need to still learn the game in order for chicks to be attracted to you. Like, it was funny because I wrote an article the other day, or it wasn't this is like years ago, but I wrote an article and it was titled something like, do you have Spider-Man syndrome? Right. And I got the idea because one of my friends said to me while watching Spider-Man, he was like, I don't understand why Peter Parker is so scared to talk to Mary Jane, because he's a superhero. This guy beats up villains. He's flies, goes through the air and jumps around, do all this amazing shit. But then when it comes to talking to Mary Jane or getting with her, he's like, he doesn't know what to do. Right. So that's sort of that's sort of an example of what I'm talking about, where you have a guy who, he has a good job, he's a nice guy, he's a cool dude, he does this, he pays his taxes, he's he does all this cool shit, but then he feels he's entitled to the chick. He's like, well, how come I'm not getting these girls? How come I'm not getting the hot girls? I should be getting them. I should be having this type of woman, right? But just because you got all that cool shit happening, you still don't know what to do in order to get these hot girls, right? So, the same way where Peter Parker, he does all this cool shit, but he still doesn't know what to do to get Mary Jane. So he's not entitled to Mary Jane because he's Spider-Man. You feel what I'm saying? Mary Jane will come to him once he knows how to attract her. These girls will come to you once you know how to attract them. These men will come to these women when these women know how to attract them. See, the whole entitlement thing is a fucking, illusion, basically. Like you're not entitled. Nobody. You feel what I'm saying? You're not entitled to shit. It just is what it is, right? So you gotta understand that. And the thing is that when you feel entitled, you just get frustrated. It's basically like the same thing where a guy, and you've heard this a lot. You've probably done this. You've seen this a lot, where you see a guy at a bar and he's buying drinks for a woman. And I love when this happens. I fucking love when this happens, where a guy buys a drink for a woman and he feels like she is supposed to talk to him now and get with him because he's been buying her drinks, right? So he feels entitled to the chick because because basically he bought her drinks, right? But that's not how the shit works. You feel what I'm saying? Where, and the funny part is that sometimes, chicks will, drink a guy's drink and they'll just walk away right after that. So they'll take the drink, they'll be like, oh, thanks. And then they'll just walk away. They'll go back to talking to their girlfriends and he's sitting there looking like a dumbass. And that's because, and then he gets upset. Oh, why these girls just take my drink and then go away and blah, 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 blah. And it's because you felt entitled to that conversation, to that interaction because you bought her a drink. You understand? That's not the way the shit works, right? So the only thing I would say, like, you're entitled to technically is if you're paying a whore, maybe. You feel what I'm saying? If you're paying a whore, then you're probably entitled. Oh, by the way, Miles had to step away for a second, so that's why I'm just rambling on here. You feel me? So, we'll get back to Miles in a second if he has time to come back before the show is over. But anyway, so with this whole entitlement shit, you guys got to understand, like, you feeling entitled and you feeling like you're owed something is going to mess up your game, because you got to think about this, right? If you want things to go down, you have to understand that there has to be work put in. You have to understand that you have to really apply yourself. You have to make these things happen. You have to make things go down. And I think men know this a little bit more than women. You understand? Because, women just automatically, they just think, men are just supposed to do shit for them. And the thing is it's because the way that we're sort of socialized, because women are taught to be passive. Women, they look for men for leadership, for guidance, for, things like that. So, a woman feels like she needs to have these things, like, oh, well, you're just supposed to do it. Right. But again, it doesn't work that way. You feel me? And the thing that is funny to me is that a lot of women out there, right? A lot of women out there don't realize how men operate. So what happens is that they're so confused about what's going on. And at the same time, the entitlement issue is still there, because you would think that when a person is feeling entitled, right? And at some point they're like, well, I feel entitled to what I want, but what I want is not coming to me, right? What I want is not coming to me. So an average person might say, okay, or a smart person, I should say. I won't even say the average person, because the average person will still keep doing the bullshit. But a person who is a little bit more aware and has a little bit more intelligence, and I'm not, saying women aren't intelligent. I'm just saying that, I notice this more with women, is that a person who's in that situation where they're feeling entitled, they're not really getting the shit that they want. A person who's more aware might say, okay, what am I doing wrong, or what can I do better to get the things that I want, instead of sort of just complaining about it not coming to me. Right. And so men somewhat, think about these things, and they'll say, you know what, I'm not getting girls, or I'm not getting the type of girls that I want, because of A, B, and C. Or, they'll do certain things, and then they'll feel entitled to a certain chick, or, certain types of chicks, or whatever it is. And then when it's not happening, they'll be like, damn, shit is not happening. So what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong that's not making me get this thing? Right. And so what I want to, bring home is that, and this goes for men, for women, whoever, right? In order for you to really make things go down, in order for you to get things going, you have to get rid of your entitlement issues, right? You have to get rid of that. And the thing is that once you realize you're not entitled to shit, and once you realize you're not entitled to anything, right, you're going to be in a better position to actually get what you want. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to be in a better position to get what you want. Because it's like this, like when you have those people in the Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, and they stand up and they say, hi, my name's Locario and I'm an alcoholic or whatever. And you got to sort of admit that you got a problem so that you can move on. You being entitled is a problem. You having that entitlement issue is a problem. And you have to admit that you have entitlement issues, right? Once you admit that, then you have to realize that you got to get rid of that bullshit, right? Once you say, okay, this is bullshit. And then you got to say, okay, what do I want? And then you got to say, okay, what do I need to do in order to get exactly what I want? Right. And that's really actually how you get the things you want. Right. You feeling that you're entitled to certain things. Right. That is, it's not really how you get things. It's not really what's going to really help you. Right. And what the entitlement issue really is, it's really, it's a sense of like sort of insecurity in most cases, because a lot of times what you're really doing, or what you're really saying, is that, I just want these things, even though I have nothing to offer, or even though I'm not really making anything happen. I just need it because I want it. And the reason why you want these things is because in most cases, you want these things to go down because you want these things to make you feel better about yourself, feel better about your situation. Right. So the thing is that for a guy who is the quote unquote nice guy, he feels entitled to these women because he's put in all this nice guy work, and he wants validation for his nice guy situation so that he can feel good about himself being that nice guy, so that he can feel like him being a nice guy is enough. You feel what I'm saying? So, and again, I've talked about this in a lot of other videos. That whole nice guy shit is not real. You understand? The whole I'm a nice guy stuff, that's just a farce, because what you're doing is you're sort of catering to girls, saying what they want to hear in order for them to like you. And that's not really your real personality. You're just doing or putting on that nice guy thing for women to like you. And so when it doesn't happen, you get upset because you feel like you're entitled to that girl who you've been being nice to all this time. Right. And the only reason why you were nice and doing all that extra accommodating shit is because you're too insecure to be yourself. And now you feel entitled. You feel me? Same thing with these ladies. Same fucking shit. These women do not want to work on themselves. They do not want to be the type of women who you would see as a good wife or a good girlfriend. They think they are because they're women. They think that, just because they're women and they got some good pussy, that's all they need to have. But it's not true. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, in order for these women to actually make something happen, they have to get rid of that entitlement issue. They have to figure out what is, going to be the best course of action for them to get the type of things that they want, for them to get the type of stuff that they need to, make go down. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing is, the reason why it's harder for women is that women are caught up in this society that tells them that they do no wrong. Everything that they do is awesome, right? Everything that they do is the shit. And it's these really fucked up guys out here, and these guys are immature. All they want is sex. That's the shit that they're hearing. So then they feel like they're entitled to this super mega awesome guy, and they're just waiting for him to show up and put them on the white horse and ride off into the sunset, which is, this is not the reality of the situation. So what happens is that society has tricked women or conditioned women into thinking that there's nothing that they need to do but be a woman and exist and stand there, and that they are entitled to Prince Charming. They've grown up with all this Cinderella, Snow White, all these other stuff. These things get into their psyche, and they expect you to be that Prince Charming. They expect you to, do anything for them. And if you do anything less than what they expect, they want to kick you to the curb. They don't want to talk to you anymore. They don't call you anymore. And then they complain there aren't any good men. You understand? This is all coming from entitlement, right? Like, it's so sad, because I've been in situations where, I've talked to women, just shooting the shit. I'll be at a meetup. I'll be at an event. I'll be at some other place or whatever, and I'm just talking to women. And women have actually told me, because I tell women I'm a dating coach and stuff, and they tell me, they'll be like, you got to teach these men how to be more mature and settle down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the shit they say. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, I'm dating these guys, or I'm trying to get with these guys, and, they disappear. This doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And, I'm a strong, independent, educated woman, and I deserve this and this and this and this and that. Right? Entitlement. Right? So instead of her figuring out or trying to learn what she needs to do in order to keep the man interested, she expects him to automatically want to be with her just because she's her. Just because she's her. Who is her? I don't know that chick. That chick. She expects just because she's her. Pick a chick, any chick. She expects that dude or you or whoever to acquiesce to her and her feelings and whatever she wants in life and all that other stuff. She thinks she deserves everything. You feel what I'm saying? That's how that shit goes. You feel me? But you got to understand, nobody is entitled to anything. You understand? And this is the type of shit that you gotta get it in your head. If you do not get this through your head, the game is going to be hard for you. It's going to be so hard. It's going to be so goddamn hard for you. I'm telling you right now. So you got to make sure that you get that entitlement bullshit out of your head. If you want things to go down, if you want to make something happen, you have to go out there, put in the effort, and you will get what you want. Don't think that you are owed anything, right? You're not. And it's not attractive to walk around as a person who is entitled, who feels like they're entitled to shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that is it for today, people. That is it. So listen, if you guys want to listen to any more Bad Boy shows, make sure that you go to ilooksexynaked.com so you can listen to all of the episodes. Also, make sure you go to badboymembership.com where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video tutorials every month. Also, see, there's a lot of shit going on. Also, make sure you go to undeniablegame.com. That's undeniablegame.com, where you can get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you how to attract hot women. It's for free. So you can go to undeniablegame.com. You can click the link under this video, or you can go straight to undeniablegame.com. All right. So guys, that is it for today. We will see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Bad Boy Show, and I will holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.